Now, immigration is set to play a central role in the forthcoming referendum on our EU membership. There is reported to be anxiety in Number 10 that the referendum could coincide with a fresh wave of migrants crossing the Mediterranean in the summer. At the weekend, Jeremy Corbyn visited the migrants' camp in Calais and called for Britain to take thousands more migrants. Everyone who wants to come to Britain and has a connection, he said, should be free to submit an application for processing by UK officials. And added that we're taking 3,000 people, it's not very many. Meanwhile, Out campaigners have been arguing that some of the hundreds of thousands of migrants already in mainland Europe could gain access to Britain under free movement rules if they were able to get citizenship. But just how quickly could that happen? Germany, Hungary, Sweden and Italy have taken in the highest number of refugees over the course of the EU's migrant crisis. In Germany, citizenship is conditional on 8 years legal residence. Applicants also need to demonstrate they can speak the language, respect the German constitution and have a clean criminal record. In Hungary, people applying to become citizens can apply after 8 years of consecutive residency. But for refugees, this process is sped up and they need to be there for 3 years in order to qualify. Refugees need to have lived in Sweden for 4 years before applying for citizenship. And in Italy, where there were nearly 60,000 asylum applications last year, refugees need to wait 5 years before applying for citizenship. However, gaining citizenship within the EU is determined by individual nations. So while these rules are currently correct, there is nothing to stop member states changing their citizenship rules either, or to make it harder for refugees to become citizens or to speed up their naturalisation process. Let's talk to our Europe correspondent, Damien Grammaticus, who's in Brussels. Damien Grammaticus, tell us about the latest ideas that are being put forward to deal with the migrant crisis, particularly this idea that Greece could be kept out of Schengen.
Well, yes, there's various things that are being floated and discussed. What we've had, the one concrete thing that we have had, which the Commission here have been discussing today, was an approval by European countries yesterday, by ministers meeting yesterday, to ask the Commission to ready the powers to extend the temporary border controls that we have in some places in Europe. So let me just mention that first. So those are the checks that we've seen put in place on some borders, so between Sweden and Denmark, Germany and Austria. 6 countries have asked for those the right to put those controls in place for a further up to 2 years. At the minute they will expire in May. So that's one thing the Commission is looking at. It will have to do sort of preparatory work on that. So there's potentially more temporary controls. But on the question of Greece, yes, this has been raised by several countries, frustrated that what they see is the lack of ability by Greece to stop the flow of people in. What the Commission has said is that there is no process to suspend or remove someone from Schengen. What there is a process to tighten up controls at some borders if there is a risk and a threat to stability internally from flows of people. And that is a process that they may go down to look at. But actually, Greece's position in Schengen is a different issue.
Right. I mean, I presume the Greeks have reacted badly to any idea to suspend them from Schengen. I don't know if you can tell us a bit more about what they're saying, but is the European Commission in general in panic mode?
They have, yes, reacted very badly. I mean, what they said was, first of all, that would do nothing to change the situation. It would do nothing to stop people getting on boats and heading to Greece, because Greece is pretty unique. It doesn't share a land border with any other Schengen country. So even if you get into Greece, you still then have to leave either by aeroplane or crossing a land border out of Schengen area to get back in again somewhere else. So what practical difference it would make is unclear, and what the Greeks have said is that it would simply trying to isolate Greece would worsen the situation. They said it would have dramatic humanitarian consequences in Greece if you try to sort of corral people there. And there has been a plan put forward by the Belgians to create huge processing camps in Greece, which the Greeks are very much against. So that, I think, is strongly resisted by Greece and hard to see how that could happen. The Commission, I think, feeling very much under pressure from both sides, because it has countries that are very concerned about the numbers who potentially may still come this year. At the same time, it has a plan that it's had in place for several months, agreed with countries to try to tackle the flows and limit the flows, and that hasn't been delivering. And what the spokesman here said to me today was, we're trying to save Schengen by implementing Schengen. They want that plan followed through on.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.